For the first quarter in 2015, compared with the first quarter in 2014, the provisional GDP numbers indicate that the economy grew by 4.7% instead of negative growth of 3.8%. Similarly, the agriculture sector grew by 7.4% compared with a decline of 8% last year. Industry sector also grew by 0.9% compared with a negative growth of 1.8% last year. Furthermore, the services sector grew by 4.7% compared with a negative growth of 5.5% last year. Mr. Speaker, it is gratifying to note that all these growth numbers are pointing to an upward trend for the economy. These are in line with our stabilization to growth policy launched in 2013 under the homegrown policy. Mr. Speaker, in the event of the guarantee crystallizing, instead of we paying from the budget, the World Bank will use our IDA resources, which would have come to the budget, to pay. It's one and the same thing, Mr. Speaker. The guarantee, Mr. Speaker, the guarantee is worth 400 million, equivalent of 400 million. And it is right, Mr. Speaker, it is right in the report.
Very well, honourable members, he says it's right in the report. I'll put a question. As many as are in favour, please say aye. As many as are against, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, when you have not identified risk, when you don't see a real risk imminent coming facing you, you don't go for insurance. When there is no risk in any transaction, any activity, you don't just go for insurance for anything. You go for insurance to protect and try to mitigate the impact of whatever eventuality can happen. So the finance minister, Mr. Speaker, cannot tell us that the fact that he is going this way means that we have other problems somewhere else. Immediately you move from your traditional activity to something else. You should tell us exactly what has motivated you to go that way. What has happened to sovereign guarantee? The fact is that those who are investing in us, those who are lending, have lost confidence even in our sovereign guarantee, and they are looking for alternative instruments to support their loans. Mr. Speaker, like I said earlier, I just want to say a note of caution. All that I'm doing in my language, in the Akan language, we say that when the mouse decides to do bad things, harm you in your kitchen, no matter what you do, it will still fall in the palm oil that you put in the kitchen. So no matter what we say, the house will approve the loan. But I just want to quote from the Bible. Ghana should remember Lot's wife. We should remember Lot's wife. We should never forget the challenges Greece is facing at the moment. And where we are going, Mr. Speaker, I will sign a note of caution that if we are not careful, one day we shall be utilized, we shall be used, we shall see exactly what Greece is going through at the moment.
Mr. Speaker, it is a prudent thing to take insurance. And that is what we should be educating every Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, whether it is life insurance, whether it's accident insurance, or in fact it is insurance for an investment. Mr. Speaker, I just want to make this contribution.
No, he didn't.
Yes, our Deputy Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, he did not understand what the honourable member said. He said when there's a potential risk or an imminent risk, you insure, which is right. But Mr. Speaker, ask him whether if you take U.S. Treasury bills, for example, bonds, you insure it. Because it's zero risk. Ask him. Why is that they don't insure it? Because it's zero risk. Even your Bank of Ghana bonds, Treasury bills, that you always pay, people don't insure it because of that. Because you will pay. It's zero risk. when there is zero risk, you are likely you are likely not to insure, not because.
Honorable Deputy Minority Leader, you asked me to ask him, so he has the right to answer. Honorable Minister, can you answer the question?
But the honorable member was saying when there is a risk, or when there is there's a position of a risk, you insure.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the global financial crisis has taught us that even loans and credit taking and given by preeminent financial institutions can go down to zero. Yes. The events in Greece today tell us that bonds issued by government can be useless. And therefore, this notion that somehow when a government issues a bond, it is zero risk, is not correct, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, I'm a ranking member.
Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised my good friend is arguing. We are all saying the same thing. All we are saying is that the best insurance is good economic management. That's all. That's all. He agrees, I agree. He agrees. That's all. That's what we are saying.
Germany is not where Greece is.
That's why Germany is different from Greece.
Yes.
That's all we are saying. So we all want to be Germany, not Greece. That's why you cannot disagree.
Very honorable members. Yes, honorable member for Doma Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've said earlier that no matter what, this law will go. But the finance minister is trying to tell us alternatives. But he is refusing also to tell us the cost implications and the cost-benefit analysis of our sovereign guarantee to the new way that he's trying to go. What are the cost implications, Mr. Speaker? The finance minister should tell us before we even approve this law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Benjamin Atani Okojina Upper Dentra West. Ono na yemra shebidwani Emma Adeshia won ewo honom. Yehwe nim se Alhaji Bature so eba betra se bibia timi akọ kama. Wana bakọ ama bia boko.
Nyame adum bibia boko.
Constituency ti sen
boko.
New Patriotic Party. Eti sen.
Ejina pinti ye prepare se ye nyame makwan ya eba bidi. So come January 2017.
I see. My ready.
Yeah, you I'm a boss.
We because in Tawantawa or Montana, most of where we.
And Tawantawa been away. Oh, same penny for say, a syndicate macra answer why Omoku, but it doesn't mean say Omoku we are now AB free and Numuana secretary AB free. They still live there together.
Okay.
Now, it move on. It is now once a while, but it's AB will be but doesn't mean say MPP as a party no.
But even more believe Center on tower with a yard it was a nice chairman. I say, I did chess and another. I did chess a year. See, Boatia is a no anamity. Adom FM Captain Smart and upon assembly one afe. Ubusa say MPP name Konano da Kumasi a Sunyani Kotina Court and upon on what Trimpe Muti dear course. A judge for a pure Mujina party demo. Kwa mfa so mu yi omo ho ano medu baby te mo afo na se obem na se ocho bachi bia to afiase na obusa se dey poti na party for na nkasa mo hwehwe party no se we be ko we ho ana tumi na mo abire mo hwehwe se mo Jeffrey NDC for.
Well, the bottom line they say tumi na ye hwehwe, but along the line sinti duan kiti be bakwem and as mistakes and as whatever kiti be bakwem, but no enteki eye from the ball. As long as I'm concerned, the party no as a whole no still remain focused. You need that whole ball no so, but say them kind of say they okay say sunyani kwem ho baby and as a court baby o sunyani na party for me no be disagree on an issue. It doesn't mean that the party as a whole no ye ni every ball no so.
Okay.
We remain focused, and sometimes, well, yeah, now blame media and be brave, but I believe, sir, I'm more highlighted on some of these things. Be for ye muna or more pay, but the rare issues, bread and butter issues, no, na beka si eja eno ato ho.
Okay. I know two about Ghana. Bread and butter issues that two about Ghana because two about a big argument was that His Excellency John Ejekunku for Nyoma or Dibigu Akwemuma Ghana Shisha and Hokudu Pempe Ghana for be considerate of those things. I was you say, oh yeah, but
yes, and to some extent, a tuaba or Ghana. Under normal circumstances, can you expect to say the average person be our kotuaba? In fact, we are baby, average person no kotuaba. These are the issues. Okay, say party na ya di ya share ni muno, ya di resources na man no. A cranberry so no afa a manage resources of the state na. And now the way we are managing no, in what way and affect me ni mabusunya and me mind no as a whole. To a large extent, that should be the basis for beginners to ato about. But we drew part of the world now. It's not the only factor for beginners to do about. For to me all kinds of things. Oh, we be in the cool school. Oh, we in the feed the same time. Oh, we in the call sorry, and I say all kinds of factors. For to me beginners. We should to me cast oh maybe me MPP ni, and I say me NDC. It doesn't matter what. What fun said the white Johnny. Abusunya bi na say yawo na to abusunya bi mu na say oye member of a football club. For example, me tie say me Kotokoni and I'm a Liverpool fan. It doesn't matter say Liverpool new man ko ye, we still don't walk alone. So be Kotokoni have be a day ukushia house ni your house supporter, even though this Oma could do relegation zone mukra so they are still supporters of us. On can say because a new man ko ye into fi house abesia ko support Olympics. So unfortunately even so far political issues or my what decides or MPP ni and so NDC you know it doesn't matter. See a talk a brother and I say could do back home even 1 million cedis crowd unya bim to a combat dinner obekwa on an empty stomach yet I dey bet no da ho gina ba ogina na that's very unfortunate. A coming kwa dia anke osa about for how our parties no manage resources are ya show ma affect woman kasa any community any man nyina na nka omagya so dia toba but any obi ada hwene sa. Okay, but Osha about for interest among for stakeholders of my party yes, even though mo the front runners nipa do no so if is more even in opposition no so mo one na mo criticize about constructively about bit matna na so as it stands now, this unity, it's clear. A bit me at the Mako Akudin Kuni 2016. Well, my head, all the questions that at times I know I'm a mind shaman call for. I'm mind shot there for one boy, save need the human in penny. I know now come we do had the answer there for one boy, especially upper danger west for yes, coming back to you see, among for our worried, really, among for our worried out there. Say the air customer. And your more fair, your more there because do na re a share MPP. Say, oh, head the way as I Ethiopia government, a whole train Kodanda or Diabeja man for now. Not the only credible alternative amount for any daso a year, the MPP. It is a amount for whom science be say, in Crawford so cry a dear knee and I read Ashumun. It looks like, say, almost so no, and yet you're a bit more bomb magic power. Now, man for have genuine cause to be worried. But no, na more assurance say yes, some of these symptoms in kitten be, but the root nankasa of Duano, the fact stem from my bomb who said Duano him kakra leaves 1 or 2 be follow apart. No, does not necessarily mean say it be any now. We are assuring them say this is a tree in the tap root no a cough from ye no matter. The storm kakra be abano. We will bet to me go through this storm. Now a month for Nkosunya a regime with team no more. Now come 2016 December, a koto about the party ya signed the can I say or may I could not be a beer while na mabetu do say yes me again. Well, 1760 or text message line February Nigeria and King Kamal. Happy birthday, Esenam Amenyo Donko. Happy birthday to you. And wawoda or Kwansum Kosunti. Esenam Amenyo Donko. Happy birthday to you.
Ebe any patriotic party so kakra na ansa na yakoyen komo ebedi eso what is happening and mo simo na mo yakaka mmam nka bi amanyo semankasa esimosire so prekope de na akoba ene obi ene obi kosi akan titru bi yakopresi be wura mrahye bidwum na mo yedi ka kosi akan wo party ataban so ansa na yakọ national na akoye twitwiri mmia mienu yedi kan almost all the papers and aka ho asem era Carlos ne ye maame na atochi ademu mo ka bi kasa bo ahye mo yem o ka bi fa ho di show mo to say party no mo nye tolerant bi ma na mo ntimi emma obi ene obi nsi akan na de na esi wo party ni from be na ebo no
Omahine the mere fact cry say OTTC no cry no goes to confirm the fact say party we democratic party in the days of former President Jerry Rawlings, who born dog. So, for example, President Rawlings said, or percent Mr. A and a vice presidential candidate, and now Mr. B and a parliamentary candidate, or this or that placer, will be able to raise a voice. Nobody dared do that. So, the mere fact that now we have a party be a position be a vacant, ubia to me privy. Obi a qualified be to me privy. Now all pray no cry no obi anka ne kasa boanshen sa na mo to me state why officer we na say the man and I say kohana I say kubenku man I say konifa no. It goes to show say really we believe in democracy. And if in these other constituencies after all out of 275 constituencies a war man me sure say you're clear about 270 or so. If 2 or 3 constituencies now still there are issues needs to be resolved. I don't think that this should cause for any alarm. Say, idea party no any tolerant, rather no. In a party paying for to dominate for Maka say, hey, this constituency assume see an as of Benting and echo. Nank will be a cananatum. But the mere fact say will be to me taking that position, but yeah, allow running the system no ankasa aye Juma may decide who takes that seat. No. Should confirm it to you say yes. Party that who when it comes to
okay, so as a member of parliament, OTTBR, what's the challenge now in the party? The Empire Party now, CCA.
Oh, as a party, like any other organization, ubenya 1 or 2 challenges you need to overcome. As far as I'm concerned, there, yes, you go through your primary stages. Normally, do stages here, a pra na division kakra. Aba, which should be normal. Nemum ye sankofu nyina wia na kase nyina besan akabum na ye move on. That stage near was here, but I'm kind almost with just 2 or 3 constituencies to go. No, we are almost over that hurdle. The big yes is here. I say in kabum beba na ye be organize ye hu ye. I can tell you say party. Especially at the polling station level, we are really not on the ground. It's a bad organization. Yes, the media money srohane center near that don't say but uko from pana baby opa you need them in the grounds. Typical example, this talency by election year and there was a polling station be to me 2 or 3 votes when officially your 5 polling station executives. And if I say 5 executives, no money, and as woman, you
so under no circumstance.
At least I think you have 5 votes.
And each
polling station.
So under no circumstance,
and also you have less than 5 votes, especially said the American when officially your 5 polling station executives, party officials. Oh, and
you're guaranteed.
Yes, could be on to a man crown. Because I have 5 votes in your head. Yenya. And as a 5 polling station executives, Obiansu yen a juma ye pa, fanso de crooked to a big crown, a woman, and I say, who polling station area, who sacrana, Tikawan ye juma crown, untumin convincing nipper 2 pe, and count home a moment to a bar and for my party nana. If I say Nippon to me convincing nipper 2 per crana, common quite nipper bear 10, and a beba, I becant that 5 no at least 15 votes. It's a quarter banner polling station be to me about 12 votes, and I see 2 votes, 3 votes are then it tells you say, hey, it looks as a dreamer be or grounds home or say a coy any. See, I may any uncle grounds need to keep Nyoma be for granted. Yahuya Nyoma before say, but I still believe that because now we were going through this primaries, presidential, parliamentary ones, you know, focus no anchor party organization is focus no now who wins what. But since you are Dumara to a large extent, and you made it. It's now time say you beba together as a party. Na yako grounds no, ni yako he anamwa yitua. A bit mama party na ya attractive. Anamwa yitua. Ebe ma man for yura. And as umenya encourage your party say yes, this is a credible party. And pampa or the come especially where your past records and so on. So ebe ma man for nya sa regime say yes, this party ni bit me.
Okay, but now as it stands, I want to define where the problem and what the problem is. Is the problem party sympathizers, Anna Nana Danko Kufuado, Anna the elected executives, national executives, Anna say what really is the problem?
Because the problem, the way I mean who na make actually say is about organization. And I mean yes, even that I think say to a large extent because now you go through this year primaries. Others ye kui flag bearer and as ye kui parliamentary candidates need to know attention ni na kokoko who supports who. So the mention. But see yet to me I can say you go beyond that stage, you know. You focus no beba be one. For example, before flag bearer race, you know, if I say be a party crona ubon say be a se me support flag bearer A be a na me support B. In the process, you know, you nya adwene kwa nkɔ hwɛ sɛ frabra no adwuma bɛ na ɔsɔ bɛbɛyɛ anaasɛ parliamentary candidate no adwuma bɛ na ɔsɛ yɛyɛ because me sorry bia me nam de mɛyɛ ma me candidate no preferred candidate no bɛwi no ɛhɔ na me attention ɛwɔ ɔno so sorry a ebi ɔso na attention wɔ ne preferred candidate no de ɔbɛyɛ obituma ma na wi ni awie but CCI ya wie that issue no ya overcome that issue no now no attention should be say okay fine now we have a frabera now we have a parliamentary candidate into focus no that is maybe focus anyone no focus should be on how do we take that seat and then about the national level so how do we take the presidential seat. I'm sure yes it was a challenge but I believe we can overcome.
It is still a challenge because
yes to a sense maybe 2 or 3 young resolving because it's still a challenge. I agree with you, but I'm saying
not necessarily this, but my basket, from afar is full of ego, individual worshipping, suspicion, trust, mistrust, and a disregard for authority, and other things.
Small price okay for coming late.
That's a basket full of these things: ego, disrespect, individual worshipping, lack of direction. I don't know.
Because a lack of direction,
okay.
Direction there, focus. Leadership remain focused. But what I'm saying is, in the basket of said Oba Adom TV, Muhasisia, Nipa 6 or 7
confusion.
Yes, not necessarily confusion. When you be who is up where you're proud, who be fees with your brassier, who be officer or serviceable, all kinds of things. And then my basket, no cry basket, especially where said the democratic tendencies, people have their liberties to do what they think said they want to do. Normal classroom, okay, normal classes, classroom now one. Yes, there may be the class prefect. So now, but
that has been the response at Modema all the time. But I'm happy with this response. But I am also saying in every institution, you don't expect an ideal situation. The only area where infrastructure is the management of the issues that come. You cannot avoid say NDC, PPP, PNC. These matters now you can want them. Yeah. It's about how over the years or over time it has been managed. In your case, management of these issues now basket abroso.
You see, that is where I make us a media baby and so yes, it's just like flying from here to Europe and I say wherever. Would ever na cry to Kumasi Krana. Ubet that smooth flight nessa ubedu mfimfin ho baby no both the turbulence ka krebia ba na gigigigigi ubo media na begina that and say pilot ya na say play we say
it takes a good pilot. Yes sir, DBC.
Exactly. So now
pilot who is piloting the MPP?
Who is piloting what? We have a leader. Nanado is piloting the flight. At
the screen I we see
at the assembly now can say. The bookers are there now yama.
Uraho.
If the man of all now who raise questions on who is piloting. Nanado is in charge.
Okay.
He is in charge.
Okay.
Or show that leadership skills and also I just say yes, and I make turbulence kakra naba. But it's under control.
Okay.
Don't forget the other time I catch was mama confess answer mama I drive a beer tamani ko school wala teno. And wa ko load passengers e mayor do mo ko market. And I can't break apai. Or no driver no kitesi no what ya tell me man can't break apai o me fan hin. So we are saying that we show leadership. But a break na pie now you are still in charge. You know, say yes, this is the direction I'm the car in spite of say break na pie. This is how I'm managing it. And that is exactly what Nanado is doing for now. Yes, turbulence kakraba.
Okay.
But he's not on shaky cry. So he's still in charge and piloting this flight no. Definitely, you better go through this turbulence kakra.
Okay.
Now you do makudu friends be a year kono safely.
All right, yeah, that's it.
You don't have to be worried at all.
Okay, thank you for that assurance. Alaji, MPP matters arising now. There are many on I train come. But why want that assurance? Why want me grounds? No say, omo you painting or for
mine. What do you expect from him? Omo trademark. MPP omo trademark. Because I don't work on some be. Na me still me microphone. Are they serious? How do they respect Ghanaians? Omubugana for saying. Or say the party will become attractive. They come in all about say, you know, they talk about the party becoming attractive. And I was say, oh here almost past record. What is record? Record Ben. Record Ben. 2.5 years of Busia and 8 years of Kufo. You know, they take Ghanaians, I don't know. What I expect say, yeah, who you form so by out of the 57, 58 years of Ghana, you quite book only 10 years. The 10 years, the first one we we cry and I 2 years. Second one, no, I ever building on the first one, and also we first, second, first 2 parts, and I 8 time. And to me, a long period. But you come and you are trumpeting a negative record. Whether it is Busia, whether it is Kufo.
MPP.
A negative record.
Record, no.
I'm telling you, a negative. They don't have any record. Any record. And Chris said, Busia Ebano, not Omano, na Uchre. Baby Sao say, oh, we know, I could see say, Edian Edikunu buyer. After you two Kwame Nkrumah, maybe are not young ones or moon this history. Year 2 Kwame Nkrumah 1966 no. NLC 4 Babaji na Busia any NLC 4 na ejuma between 67 and 69. The MPP 4 the almost godfathers, almost forebears. No na ejuma. Amesa to Abaman who winning on cool chop ye banning CPP. Well, by 2.5 years. The first thing was signed Gini salary in advance. Or Gini kept in advance. And then 2.5 years. Ye tune, yeah, obia. That it means there's no record there. Kufoba Ebano, and of course under the first regime of second term of Rawlings between 98, 99, 2000. Na Omai a whole tree. And Omai make us say, I'm not speaking here as a politician. I'm giving you the facts. Because television soon no, I know they are listening. If they can challenge America here, I'm challenge. And maybe but programs here, first and foremost, I put Ghana first, even though I'm a sympathizer of the ruling NDC. Omuba no, before we need power, 2001, na NDC, or mine was some edge everyone some a fact. Inflation was hovering around 41%, 40.5%. Interest rates were almost about 40-50%. And these are facts, nobody can deny it. Growth cry virtually negative, even though it's about 3%. The indicators, macro environment, and papa. And there were reasons for that, of course, but we would not take it. It is true that Kufuor or Bayern and an MP for Bayern, there were challenges, and they're incredible. They managed to stabilize the situation between 2001 2003. From 2004 to 2008, what happened? That's why maybe so say what record? I didn't record. The fact that Muya are between 2001 2003, yeah, 8 years. Out of the 8 years, 3 years, Penamutmi boom mine, I'm stability.
Yeah,
I didn't record. Bisa said, why did they knock off the 4-0 in 2007? This question, Ghanaians should ask them. Omuka said 10,000 abaye 1 cedi to the dollar.
It was giving strength to the city.
What strength?
Loads of money
What strength? What strength? You don't just get up and change your currency and dominate your currency. It must be backed by productive activity. And I'm shown. Bibians is not here. Near the same thing. Our export was higher than our import was higher than our export. So on what basis? We could get the number $20 billion. Equamanani. Ne crab 10 and 15 billion. Nature a surplus of 5 billion. And no question now, nature the economy strong. Nothing changed. They saw that dollar next year election. So what do? Let's redominate. I remember very well President Kufuor said, "Is the Ghana cedi nukra na how the cry $1 o Ghana cedi o the dollar per cedi. This also the cent kakra bi kra count and say na wotumi 1 cedi. What kind of deception is this? When there's nothing that shows that occurrence, and look at it, between 1st July 2007 to December 2008, the city depreciated by over 30%, from 9 cities, 50% or 20%, to 12 cities, 50%, within that 18 months. How come within 18 months? No wonder today the city is running like mad, because the real strength of the city and then is what we are seeing. That is the real value of the city. Between 3, 3.5, 3.6. That is the real value. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody can bring the city again to 2 cities to $1. Nobody. Because the economy is what determines it.
Okay.
For example, Missy Omuni record. Nana Akufo-Addo, Nanu Yoko Abuchi, Okokan Bibi say, Ono, Wa Odim say, O Bana Abayim, Abepesika. And men ben ho. Kind of what? You think that we are so gullible? Yen kind of man. Yen kind of man. Muba Abayim, what happened to that government? What did you do? What was your record as far as the fight against corruption is concerned? You see?
MPP. They set up an office.
Accountability office. Now, President Kufuor was it me in radio su and TV su enko yi me swafo bia ma se wa wieska and we diska o we say ugu abai is how to fight corruption. Akufo-Addo was an integral part of this government. What did he do? What did he do? Did he speak out against it? Did he speak out against it? Wanji. Or no, was it Wanji? I didn't know what it was Wanji. Did you hear his explanation? Was it was morally wrong? Not morally wrong. Like, why did you allow the government to do it? Maybe Nana Akufo-Addo from 2007. Maybe come here. May and yeah, me kind of radio so TV so. What would you change? Come and challenge me. And cap at them. Nana was starting running for president primary in 2007 as MPP flag bearer. Well, we need primary. Was we need national election? We lose. First round, what we need. Second round, we lose. 2010 was our primaries. What we need primaries. Okay, 2012 election. We lose. That has 2 elections. This 2014 was our primaries. And 2015 or primaries. It's a win. Or Sabe Akorani 2016 election. And ye be me be said another. When Muna F funding the campaigns in 2007 party primaries, no. Why Muna man is car?
What's what I you say
there? Why Muna man is car? They ran national election in 2008. 2012 elections, 2010 primary. Why Muna Ebwa was a man? I'm what the choir election?
Same to NDC. Why the boy NDC for Momusunya?
I'm not talking. NDC didn't speak the way American. Nanado kind and ya. Say no cresse. What the okay? What bet me this one? And in a make a man can NDC for what? Was say who are officer who buy the pesco maba and the men home.
Comment to my cry.
And me say me and mama was car all the akoya campaign. And then we are to Mika. How are you going to repay me?
Okay.
No, and you okay? And first, because almost 30 minutes. I think they do 10 minutes. Okay. Because me starting here 3 minutes after, 57 minutes after 7. Oh, also me for the records. I think they will say maybe so. I'm asking you as the host. Nana Akufo-Addo, omo funding the campaign. I'm going to give 2 million. Our prudential edit year the campaign 2012. How is he going to reimburse them? Can you look at these people in their eyes? Say, Mama, me mama contract.
Okay.
You see, in Ghana, we are grown past this. You don't have that money. Oh, 3 elections, it will cost no less than 50-60 million pounds dollars. So that you can look at me who brought you 20 pickups. You can look at me who brought you a container of bicycles. Kenya Japan Numa on Koto China Koto bicycle by Omo contract. Omo. This is just a public gimmick.
Okay. 1760 for text message line. I was what in same go. But my main community ba komra. Nanya da je fa so. Yeah, kwaba. Kasaba mpese lucky about calling father ma ana guso alaji battery asasna union for Benjamin Ayen so atnasi. My text message number 1760 a lot of your text messages about abo ayeka we are na fia text message na fia ra enrada omamu yesi kasem suhweso for nsemo de koto ma shebe dwamini ade se de so de asade koto wonanim why quick one.
You see omane ayam ntampe nipa you take your personally. So I am a professor and can go straight to the issues. But when you have Alhaji Baturi trying to attack Nana, said the credibility somehow, as more kind raising question marks on it. No matter who is asking these questions. Or starting the threat, but will show who he really is. So he's not speaking as a politician, he's talking about the truth. As more can then and who I didn't know else will be believe Alhaji Baturi. You see the Alhaji of Alhaji fame. I know Kasafa President Kufuor Gizia Yazi say Nentafo be organize a vast loads of people. So I'm going to call airport. Say Gizia Yazi the Kufuor Nentafo be or no mawo at the Omoba. Tomo Kwakushiasa woman. Where is that woman? Where are those twins? So no credibility to here and some can officer that is the truth. Where is it? Credibility no way if I officer don't work and the truth. And he doesn't even see the record of MPP. And he says, that is the neutral or national view. I was a man who believe what he is saying. MPP befa under President Kufuor befa o many. Na mo atete o man ya pansam no. O man na mo grown at 3.7% GDP growth. O man was at epic status. That is o man na dikabu bro said yegusu ebok ye. Ayentumi entua ye ho aka. Enti now see a declare epic. As we speak now, that singular policy, this current government, Mahama, is still enjoying from that policy because every year, beyond about 100 to 200 million flow into the HIPIC funds. As you see, your master friend, special SIP funds or whatever they call it. Alaji that he's questioning the records. Alaji names that GDP at 3.7, you grow continuously, gradually from 3.7 now to 8.4%. Who that as a record minus oil. What buying even with oil no? Now look at it. Mu grow or may at 2.3%. And you're questioning Nipa with that oil no, ultimately grow or no up to 8.4%. You don't see that as record. What would you call as a record then? This is a government you buy. Look at cocoa. Mass spraying of cocoa farms are they buy. A leading eventually to about 1 million tonnage in 2010 or 2011. They buy a National Youth Employment Program. Our President Kufuor cover by a capitation grant, health insurance, I cover by I say Markrank Hospital in Gongo free. So, school feeding program. And above all, or buy okay say, refocus GMPC. Eventually, it me enya oil edema or may. Exchange rate, depreciation of the CDR or to Papa said 10 or 0 say knocking off na the promise by. Within the 8 years under MPP, CD need depreciate average about 58%. Okay. Mubafa in 2013, the exchange rate in the CD was 1.1 or 1.12 to the dollar. As we speak now, it depreciate over 400%. Right, and you don't see any of this record now, but the whole country should be seen
gas supply to Atuabo to be delayed for 3 more weeks. And it reads, gas from the Jubilee Field offshore Cape 3 points to gas processing Atuabo is to be delayed for further 3 weeks, Talo Oil has said. Challenges with gas compression systems on the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah have been identified as the main problem. So for the next 3 weeks and more, probably, that's what we are going to experience. And what some text message to do about mine. I do not personally understand why the NDC government, led by President Mahama, is still owing contractors and other organizations upon accumulating a debt stock of over 89 billion. God save Mother Ghana. From Coandes, Bedu, Sefia Safo. Another. Hey, if the MPP sent 2 million HIPIC, then God bless NDC from Yeboah. And also we are doing kind of thing. And that's why please kindly tell the NDC regional chairman for Upper East Region Boga to go and finish the Kandiga Road that has been awarded to him for 4 years ago. The state of the road is going from Bar to West. Rian or Kandiga, no, they're about. Why don't you call Kandinga?
Kandiga.
Kandiga. Okay.
Kandiga.
Kandiga. Okay. Why don't you call about Nana Wako MP for Upper Dentra East on your program for from Agnes Menu or doing kind of thing? That's why I say, I try to invite Kwesipra Jr. to your program because he's my mentor, Sami Mustafa Kumasi Masin Odiaba. MPP should prepare well because this NDC government has failed us. I'm tired of staying home as a qualified nurse while my services are needed by ordinary taxpayer. Godwin Watechiman and Odiwe Abba. And it goes on, 1760, your text message line, Fabre, Nianjibre, and King Kamal. Moving straight to Parliament.
Okay.
Moving straight to Parliament, government requests over 800 million support to support budget.
Before you move there, I have to make a quick response or make it 2 allegations. I have to speak to them. First one about my personal integrity. Second one about growth rate. First of all, Mama Untia say growth rate now 2-3%, 3.7. Mo say Mudia call 8.4 no. And your magic beyond Muye. What did you bring into the system that changed the growth rate? Very simple. We call HIPIC no, and a mutual of our car. Over $4 billion. Yes, it means servicing. And an SRG bought this year $5.8 billion account. Automatically, you are not servicing your debt. You have got new inflows, almost $6 billion has come in. Imagine. Magic. Is this magic?
Prudent management.
Magic.
Prudent management.
Magic. Mobile and growth. And first of all, let me make it clear here. Growth rate, no. It is not the matter. Send an amount for a fund. Say the higher you go, and it say you are developing. I want to make this very, 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 very clear. Growth rate can occur in one sector that will not even reflect others, the country. For example,
Massa,
economic
growth, the whole world.
Growth in 1 year from 8% to 14%. What did it change? Ghanaians, how did it affect Ghana? Because 85% of that growth, it went out.
Okay, Alaji, next one.
About me, yes. About mini Kufoni Giselle Yazi. Messiah says, Nima, never you can't show. And your likes. I've never anywhere said Giselle Yazi and I present Kufa won't. So Nima, go and check the records, they are there. Mami no your friend Giselle Yazi, where Arab American. On the Okasa, one no can Mufidiesu, multimedia, Joy FM, Komla Dumo. So on your man penny, I won't. Now, per se, over Ghana, yeah, Siniquine. She wants to come and give evidence as Shraj. Yeah, Siniquine. I'm going to say, Obwa, when your advisor. Also, when your contract to be or leading government, America use Spain. Spanish.
What are you talking about? I didn't see
one person record this.
You are just shifting the record.
Listen to me.
It turned out to be a fluke.
And my minister, well, leading President Kufuor Ediako Qatar, ni Saudi Arabia, ako jiska for Kolebu. Was that the Omampeyini Ghana government, ako Spain? Na the commission also Yamanu, Yamanu. President Kufuor Emmanuel, La Palm Hotel, Emma Oman 9 armed bodyguards, Omo Heno so. Sabi, all kinds of say, only President Kufuor awonta. President Kufuor ni Kobna Japan no eba out eba ji. Adam ami ya allegation say yen kra yen manum bra evidence was charge. Or person or there some ba charge. And I say aban e sin kwan. And here central for nyame kwa kan kraja we MPP leading figure on me deputy. Ye form ekua e friend Friends of the Truth. Ye person who want to cry woman. Can Crunchy, only me deputy, vice chairman of that various sections of the media. Say a person who in a cry woman, and we are going to do all in our power to make sure. Only me vice chairman.
Of what?
Of Friends of the Truth.
We
wanted to get to the bottom of the matter. The woman is making allegation, President Kufuor and his government is denying. So we are going to make sure that Mamino Beba Shraj, we are going to facilitate her coming to Shraj. Unfortunately, last minute, a day before she is supposed to arrive, and Mamino Frey said, I'm not for the question one to me, Mabio. Yan Fabas and Kofon Krobia. A press conference. I'm a friend, Mamino. Our press conference, I see. Only Ghana journalists, Akasai. See a scene quite won't be back. And that is how it ended.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kabi Bia.
Say not buy and I could say bottom line saying.
Philip and John
not buying about form running.
Or see with the President Kufuor Ninia Adokufo Eddie Philip. Mami ready to joy FM and okay. Please get it right.
Then be said okay, one now you're champion or deputy need those kind of things.
You are trying to you were the leader. You don't want to go personal. Did I go personal on Akufo-Addo?
Oh, that was personal.
I was talking about
who is funding one challenging this, one challenging
what Mama Mwai? Who is funding Akufo-Addo? What Mama Mwai?
What band of power?
Maybe
take him on.
Say, where did he get the funding from?
Obian himself. Presidential idea. Obian expect you to from the pocket. At least your ability to organize people to support your cause and fund that cause shows how credible you are as a person. Are you telling me, Mr. President Muhammad alone or defending the country? I'm just asking. It's credible leader, and you should be able to mobilize people who think like you and raise funds for your cause.
All political leaders, they get funding to run their campaigns. So how can you come and sit on one stage and tell people lies? Say, which
one is a lie?
Mimiba, that's a open scam.
What's the one who says a scam? The way I'm this scam, I want to the rest. Criminally minded people like you. What is that? That is the mind I'm what I don't care.
Okay, but that's what he says. The fact that you invest in my candidate or my flag rashi does not give you the mandate to steal.
You go US no Obama no that you are fundraising that means Obama the contract member those people. What are you talking about?
It's about stealing. Corruption is not about stealing. Graft is not about stealing.
Connivance.
Nepotism, cronyism, it's not a corruption. Ken of Raja, he has almost collapsed his bank to fund your campaign. Ubedi o campaign and that's about say me pe contract here and I say what make say omano.
Obeti me substantiate issue awakan about Ken of Raja and the man
he came out and said he went and took the $2 million.
This is here and then Obeki kind of Bia today, yesterday, we came about this now he denying. Why should I believe Alhaji Batu when he speaks today about another person?
You can't smear me.
I'm not going to smear you. One record and I mean,
you dare not smear me.
People should not take what you take, what you say. No
fact.
The beer make a hasn't tough on them.
And mistake.
Come to 4 times near Mama. And you are in charge.
You are in charge. And I'm saying you are in charge.
You told the story out there. Not me group. Not me. SRP. Deputy Nyada the crowd. And you talking about credibility.
And what happened? And who's your son saying?
Well, Omamra no Emma Kwan say Afibia no say abandon the plans or war through the budget statement or the parliament. Now in the middle of the year no, so if say when yeska fufuru bi and I say bi fufuru bi aba yes, a big difference kakra beba between budget no odi nka di aba no a say or draw parliament attention. Enti under normal circumstances, you must be if you said this and or say just once a while. Because budget there, as it is done in the corporate world out there, no, your budget for the year now. I mean, it's just 12-month period. So to me, it keep to that budget. Once a while, maybe variations, major variations, be back. No, back for review. But unfortunately, in our situation, it looks as it's become normal. I was saying, as a state, you have had any year. And you can see a money look normal. So within just 12 months per. Then you have medium term and long term plans and so when they. So within just 12 months per no. Who your budget I say to me a share new yield nasi your proper analysis said there or the bar within that 12-month period need will to me I implement and I say what the plans are already abandoned. So now variations be back now within some acceptable range be. Now your fun is but I say be normal I say after every 5-6 months be also ban no basis and the budget we figures yeah and president through the minister the by making changes left right center and that now. A very normal to me now, and yet prudent enough.
Okay, so what's the call for the injection of 800 million or appeal to Parliament, Samontinase, for developmental projects or your local assemblies, the municipal assemblies?
No, that is Adiabakukura. In fact, unfortunately, no, unlike before, Anka, Minister no, our Parliament, ye representation, Kabako. Mails room now or copy that or not at least can agree before you buy what you read through now so what make here now they don't bring it.
Are they?
Well, that is up to them. So CCI Yankita copies nibi ebi and ebe parliament na say no the baba no pay dia that's fine. But and also yeah, another thing for the past couple of years they be over read day 2 and say ebia yeah dey for in a brain. Because utie bits and pieces of why he's asking for these funds in the plan. It sounds contradictory. Who idea is putting your dequacoye. Who be expect say you mount extra funds. Meanwhile, extra funds then how they be. And that normal segment expect to say because funds no, yet the center and the utilize funds no. We as a finance ministry now, we're pushing it into the various sectors. Say okay, Mr. Can extra 800 into these 8 agencies no ebia obia the 100 we say fan konko ye adwuma who from can original ones no. But then say the minister no may tia no sounding a note of caution to MMDAs no. Said this should not mean say they should be spending what more and as we extra bit they are spending. Meaning say if anything at all they are still to keep within original budgets near the mouth. Then question is scanner these are some of the basic questions that immediately it comes to mind. So we see Nipano and spending 20 cities. One man discuss and as a woman discuss on spending 20 cities. Now no, who say about extra money? Who do and ebeji? And yet what's any signal to them say, hey, here now one spending more than 20. Now the mouth originally.
No, so I'm spending more than 20.
Then yeah, extra now also babejino. He now this extra no echo.
Sanchi Munamba.
Amaye. And normally so we any question time and when you chance to put in questions maybe obama response. O didn't in area where we no ko. Nti afia ye be kwakotena say ayem pensem and na echo about this issues in keten na bebe especially the nsaka books you be now we study no detailed and na dey pensem beba but we hear some of the points in keten bia I like you from paper na show boduman okay. So we hear enema na obeka bi na nti na alaji kan bibia ba record na ayemi hu no as a state as a 2009 January on be far by now my nyina ye ka da from Kwame Nkrumah breso ebepim Kufuor breso I hand over the mount ye ka ye is about 9.5 billion as we speak now 8 years kwa munya yo mo raise a came from 9.5 billion to 90 billion 90 billion as we speak now okaka and I'll raise questions nibia or say exchange rate no a factor into ama ye CD a na cost rosan or kind of assist or man here wo said yes say ka manage exchange rate no passing the back abroad pass ye enye want to me manage enema yi e ma exchange rate no e ginsem na ntino o besi ya wakobo fi amanone no o convert ba okrom na e kan cost ra. You don't blame anybody. You don't blame anybody. In any case, forest no exchange rate no cry a factor. What about the domestic borrowing? A Canada double free has said and so as you speak now again, we salaries fee home more. You can say Bisiani Dosso, and I'm say, hey. A do baby can present Muhammad. So you miss a bit to Bob Bisiani more. Okay, openly say yes, Bisiani bit me up more. Sebi, with all respect to President. Now, quite to say, Governor Ibia Medem Land Cruiser Yasman. Now, who's a speedometer? No, a bit to me, I call out to be a 260, 280. Now, what decides, so make me TRD so I could 260, 280 there. And the next time, may call 120. No, because over speed. Let's say, me young coffee, cry. Because the able to me, I could 260. Ogonia you make me go 260. Na me drive at 120, 140, 160 na mo ka se me call speed dodo. E bi na atu nsisi here yo. Yes, besian yes. Osi obetumi abo besian obetumi say, but it does not necessarily mean that the mere fact that car no ya provide is obetumi go 260 no does not necessarily mean say obetumi also speedy at that level. As we speak now, on my interest charges in Kwan is about 9.5 billion, over 9 billion. It is the single item you book out hopa or MCC we salaries we are interest servicing, loan servicing. You try interest in you and yet you no principal no. Can I can be my 10 years, 20 years, the anana nominate for the babitia. A won't see who can you TCC over 9 billion something. Me one will be some say the makers if you come in Kuma Blesso, Ebe Pim, Kufo Blesso, Neka, Yabato. I will be the 9 billion. Let's see how they are 90 billion there. That is a Kakufoja, a 9 tenor. I cannot do 90 billion. Simply put, no, also at least you 9 times 10. Because about 10 times. Tanya man what he found woman.
They're reflective.
And you're reflective. And you're reflective. Say reflective, I'm for be the dance here. Your Bessia, your Bob Bessia de ye at the papa. Some papa ko Bob Bessia, no the Babisi hotel. Now me banna Bessia the home crana, no say from hotel me managing year. A bit me a day, a 3 years I can. Until I don't have any idea to complain. But some papa ko Bob Bessiano, no the Berlin and Pinam. Now there's nothing to show. I bet Mama Wishim says, I'll be seeing Papa a camp Papa de Jamin. We used to make an idea 3 years. I should be worried.
Okay.
And this is some of the things we are seeing.
Alaji.
So, what was this here?
First, no, Alaji, Emmanuel.
My Uncle, they will not stop amazing me. Supplementary and our budget and our mid-year review. More, but already remains so ready. More time next year. But today he's condemning it. As a ban winner, it started here.
But he was quick to add that. As I see,
Master, it doesn't make sense. You were Africa. We are in a developing country. We are a developing country.
See,
the fact that we are in a developing country where you don't control nothing about your economy. Review is very, very important. Because November last year, now we have budget. We have budget, no. World conditions, world economic environment, and a one environment are different. For example, at that time, we target is oil revenue. We used to $90 per barrel now the year budget for 2015. And you know what is happening in the oil industry. It came down even up to 20 something. They say it's hovering between 50 and 60. And you don't have the right to review that thing unless you get permission from Parliament, both expenditures and incomes. So what set the targets? So if it's a target, no, achieve. The best thing to do is to go back and report to the people who sanction your budget. So me and Mika say, "Come to me, grow economy 3.9." Then because of this and this, me sremo me the about 3.5. No more jet too much. Next time I am bra. So answer, who can say me spending 10 million cedis afiwe. Fortunately, around the year, no, one say chobo biaba, afri baby aba, how you can make some revenue. The fact that you make that revenue, you cannot spend it. You have to go back to the Parliament to seek their permission to allow you to spend that extra money. Every government, no money is sufficient for any government. The fact that the money wasn't there, no, you have budgeted. But say, more. So it is proper you go back to Parliament to get your permission. And no, where's your problem? What about Kano? Oh, and that's why I say they should be very careful. Because most Ghanaians now, 2001, mobile, me get to say na o mine yesika some air pascal. Muko Hepik, yenina ko Hepik, even though led by a MPP government. Ye Kafo from Kwame Nkrumah time, independent 1957 up to Kufuor time, no, ye kanyina ye $4 billion. Ye ka ayedi as a mine, $4 billion from 1957 up to 2001. A man for sale with chair, me tuya. Almost up by $5.8 billion before Kufuor be free. Be free akunyano so. And now me know say Bisian bia Omobo President Kufo in 2007, 2006, 2008 no. Afe na busie no kra sa aka wo. Ekasa aka no a wo ka no. Ena me no kasa it's 90 billion cedis na o chire no. Won $1 o say o sheda o di call cedis o say ka o di kan dollar
90 billion.
90 billion. But we sheda di e kan in cedis.
This CD now we can see the asema and budget notice of the president in dollars.
Say
Budget no.
say nyanya CD.
Ekani bisa won say cover budget in dollars. Ekano so president in CD sana.
That's why I'm coming. That is why for the purpose of discussion, you must let your listeners know.
Dollar crowd.
You must let your listeners know.
What challenge or any cities 90 billion.
Maybe I be say 90 billion now all kanu. Ekano President Kufo jai no.
That was 9 billion. No? Yes, 9 billion. As at the time, I'm
my
but he's not present case as a man. He cannot stand
the debate. He can't stand it. I was here, you're making your submission.
Okay, Yanko Alaji.
What do I say? About 40% of the so-called 90 billion now Kano. Afena, yeah, this best is as Kano. Me say 40% of that money now, which money? 90% no Kano. Ye born work from reso. Afena ye gusua ye spend this as Kano.
Alaji, I mean school fees, you don't confuse.
Abai abo enyambae. Ebi wo abai abo enyambae. Enso nyina eka books mu. Eno so beba ebia after this government.
To say the
Mr. Owuye you did not make okasamanye by my I didn't interrupt you. Do you understand the point I'm making you? When you came, we started on a clean slate. Mujaika $5.8 billion. That time, because President Muya Azanti, Mushereko Kokoya redenomination.
Azan.
Upea multiply 12 cities 50 pesos and 9 cities 50 pesos times 5.8 billion. Now what you get?
We are multiply current one also by the 4.5. Now
almost
add it back.
So I told you earlier on in our discussion, sir, we are now feeling the real value of the city. Our total debt no is less than 30 billion. But all the best cities more is about 90 billion, about 20-something billion. Yeka. And I'm telling you that part of the Air 5.8, which was incurred by President Kufo and MPP.
In any case, the issue is that Ikadodona Ayajino, Ikadodona Akosono. Yena di wa dance said the year Juman ho or mine ho.
Now, my year the call him for.
When the Sikada Laji baby, baby,
600 million Kufoko ball, China, ADC, Budam, Efa baby. Maybe so. We say sometimes don't let the politician be deceiving you, or don't just prejudice your mind about government. President Kufo Akoji 850 million now. President Miss Koji or China, ADC Atwabo gas eno Echo baby. Maybe so. 36 million cities now. President Kufo Koji every China. ODBC Flagstaff House no. Ever baby. Master, don't oil parliamentarian. It will be an indictment. It will be gang of phone na mukosha ase muni kaprea muni kosha ase no. Sa 200 million na mills koji etua no. Enu elfa baby.
From IGF.
IGF. Can you use IGF to construct roads? This expensive road,
but we can use IGF
debt. IGF the year feeder roads. IGF the year feeder roads. And highway is Kumasi Accra road. And big project is your friends Kumasi interchange your friends so for line interchange. Who here over 100 million, 200 million city project. Now we use IGF. Who go over Sam Bustiana Mills. Boy, up to now, you go to Ebo Busia, 8 years. I can't. Nina can't. And then I say part of 90 billion work. President Kufona, Ebo Sakano, and a gusu, ye tia, and a gusu, say, I feel a scanning be cry ever. You know some of the money. I feel ever work on now, billion. Well, one kind of count my count, work on a kind of 9 billion, 90 billion, 80.5 billion on my bottom or the Ayak, what your man or the Oh, he can't stand the argument. That's what I'm telling you. Mama example. And then Minu can say, yeah, $3 billion over China. Say naba. What the bit? Missy, you can't say, yeah, that's a one card you came home. Yeah, my, and 3 billion in Parliament has approved it. You say it's not part of it. Cabinet, are you really a parliamentarian? I can't hear Kano. You're passing what Parliament. That's what we're talking about. And no more the man never can. That's not a million air. More prove 3 billion. 1 billion pen abba. 2 billion buyer. It's on our books.
Please ask Alhaji Baturi.
It's on our books. What are you talking about?
Is he happy about the current economic situation in Ghana? It's a Samuel Denchira, Abraham Odiaba. And come what may, MPP will triumph in 2016 because that is the party devoid of corruption, economic mismanagement, inflation, and chop by Isaac or Seshi Bodino Diabamine. Please ask Alhaji to compare the two parties, MPP and NDC, in terms of performance. And Amaine, please come to Western region and see the Chinese people are taking over Galamsey. And Amaine, we will separate Western region from our country, Ghana. Kojowa Sankregwa. In Adabo Chrome, the petrol price is 18 cedis per gallon, up to date by Abu Naudiaba. Amaine, is Alhaji Baturi trying to let us know that those who sponsor John Mahama are the ones spending our money, or John Mahama is paying them back now? Hey, Ghana. Nana Kewa Wager. Alhaji Baturi is biased. Ask him who sponsored NDC in 2012 elections. Remember, Professor Mills also contested 3 times before he won 2008 election. And this also gets into God bless our nation with almost all the natural resources to help us improve our living. But here lies the case. We lack leaders with long-term vision. Furthermore, to improve the current state of our nation, then let's stop the NDC and PP politics and ready ourselves to face the fact. Mohammed Awal Obanda Nkwanta, per Alhaji's submission, if Nana did not win the election, or the people he claimed they sponsored chased Nana for their money, he should stop this talk. Omaine is Alhaji saying that those taking government monies are NDC financiers. Ghanaians are watching. Kudos to Honorable Ayer. Rudolph for the Denchira West Nodiaba. Omaine, how can this government spend so much on unconfirmed SADA, etc., and let NHIS collapse? Ghana power name. Omaine, as host of this morning program, it seems to me that the NDC propaganda man sitting at your studio now, Alhaji Baturi, always try to intimidate you. And Omaine, tell Alhaji, we have seen enough economic weakness of his NDC government. So no matter what the case, come 2016, Mahama will go. Abbas or Kaswa. Please tell Alhaji, tell your government that we need employment. Graduates, we've become hopeless. Oh God, help Ghana. From Michael Waterchiman. Mr. Suitman, your 5 polling agents did not vote for MPP because they do not have faith in MPP policies. I think we always now go and do that.
But so just a quick point. Mohammed, I will be a BB. So let's forget about the NDC MP. I think I share that with him. I agree with him. Make about Nana Akufo-Addo ni campaign funding no. Manka Mahama and NDC there because that was not the subject of our discussion. But let me tell you, Enna Rollins can some time ago say he doesn't believe in partisan democracy. There are so many ways.
A bit of dictatorship.
There are so many ways of going it. But Africa is not ready for that kind of Western democracy. What must I say? Because even parliamentarian, yes, what here? Say all the soon is in the primaries. Or mine say all the soon in primaries. Yes. Obia Obiti, Heska was saying. Okay. Kokore will say what to me. How is he going to recoup these monies?
No, but
I'm not talking to you.
In US, wherever be a democracy, you spend before
US,
it does not necessarily say we are money. No, we should build the institutions to make sure
that is the question. You spend 3 billion. You spend 25 years. You spend 3 billion for a parliamentary primary. Then you go to the national election. You spend 5 billion to go to parliament.
No,
8 billion.
No spend this. Obi no spend this, massa.
800,000. Ghana.
As a man, how can
800,000 Ghana.
Alaji.
800 billion primary. 800,000 Ghana cedi.
No.
Yes, kind of thing.
And yet, me say,
Alaji figures of body.
No, minute. Bako ama wanga chow. Uyefi. Otiana or kacho. How much he spent in his campaign?
Now, President Mahama.
Mr. Huse.
Okofe kind of thing.
Okofe. Send it to your Send it to your It's a meme canon. It's not that I'm supporting politicians. All politicians, they get funding. And when they get funding, when they win power, what they do is they don't steal the money. They don't steal, but they support their
wrap up.
That's what I'm saying. So now people are going there to blah and say, media people, and want me yet.
Okay, all right.
Want me yet.
You see, if you ask Bibia and ya say, Obi places self-limitation upon himself or herself.
Self-limitation?
Yes. Because I do mean to me yet. I do mean to me yet. Now, dear, no well places limitations not upon yourself. No. Now, we feel any next will be answering your day. Into me yet. Salaji nene and crop for no, and this bonifice said, the only way over to me at the IBB is through thievery. So be bokro or minor chronodia. Now, say, no way.
Okay.
Yeah, dear, so. Now fees will be the MPP. Stay back because me no mean we are no idea. Mama Kwama what be we be. And so we are deal with you. The only time as a leader you can't deal with people behind you who are stealing or misbehaving is when you yourself you are misbehaving.
As we speak today, as we speak today, those who are I'm talking how they are chopping the money. Minority leader. Okaka will take us. That's
another good question.
Eventually, who pays?
Look,
eventually, who pays?
27 million euro.
Inflated contract.